I went to the Southern Baptist Bible Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, and asked these questions with people that were doing their doctorates in ministry, and they didn't have an answer. Then who was the father of Joseph?
Who was the father of Joseph?
Yes.
Heli or Jacob?
Which one?
Which one? Heli or Jacob?
That's not the same person because each genealogy is different.
No, I don't think it's. I don't think that's.
Bro, come on.
It's not.
Come on.
Because Heli is in reference to Jacob.
If Heli and Jacob were the same person,
yes,
then the genealogies without the omissions would match. But they don't. They go through different sons of David. They're not the same person. Unless you have incest going on, those are two different genealogies. One goes through Heli and one goes through Jacob. If what you said was true, that Matthew just took out some, then the rest of Matthew's genealogy would 100% match with Heli because he just took some out to make a 14, but it doesn't. It goes through different sons, so those are two different genealogies that go through two different people, unless you're saying Heli and Jacob were brothers.
No, I mean, I think that there's some individuals that probably make that argument. However,
but you know that's not true, right?
Whatever I'm saying is that in the genealogy, it doesn't have to match up in that sense.
You know what? I think you see my point, and I think you jumped from a few different things, and none of them make sense. But I'm not going to keep harping on it because I don't want to put you on the spot. Go home, take a look at it, read up on it, come back. All right?
Sure.
Now, did Jesus die before the Passover or after?
Depends on if you're reading Mark or.
So those contradictory.
There's actually a really good video.
Forget the video. Just tell me what you think. I can send you videos from Bart Ehrman and myself. That's not the point. But did he die before the Passover or after?
Well, John would say that he died at the Passover.
And what's the other account here?
Right. In
Mark?
In Mark's Gospel.
What does he say?
Well, it says that he would have died. Well, no. Why don't you pull it up?
Okay, let's pull it up.
In Mark chapter 15.
Cool. Mark.
It might be Mark chapter 14.
14, but that's all right, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need to flex, you memorize verses. I got you, bro. So his disciples went out and came to the city and found it just as they had said to them, and they prepared the Passover. So this was the preparation day. Yeah. In the evening he came with the 12. As they sat and ate the Passover meal, he said, "Assuredly I say to you, one of you who eats with me will betray me." And then they began to sorrowfully say to him one by one, "Is it I? Is it I?" He answered to them, It is one of the 12, and so on. So here he has the Passover meal. Then after that he is crucified, right? This is in Mark. But in John, it says, now it was the preparation day of the Passover, about the 6th hour, and he said to the Jews, "Behold your king." But they cried out, away with him, crucify him." So now he is being crucified on the Passover preparation day, no meal here. So which one was it, before the Passover or after?
No, that's a good point.
Thank you. I mean, this is a core creedal issue of Christianity, is the crucifixion and resurrection. Both have absolutely contradictory accounts in the Bible. So one of them is wrong. Either it was before the Passover or the day after.
Sure. I think that there is an argument though that people would make.
Okay, I want to hear.
I would say that there are two references to when the Passover took place. There's the reference to Nisan, which is the day before, and then there's another reference to.
You know that doesn't make sense because the day before is a preparation day.
Sure.
It's not the Passover day. You can't have the Passover meal on the preparation day. So the contradictory accounts about a core Christian creedal issue is very clear.
Sure.
Right? And you see it, right? And I appreciate that you're honest enough to admit to that.
Yeah. I know that there's answers to that though, because I've listened to videos.
I went to the Southern Baptist Bible Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, and asked these questions with people that were doing their doctorates in ministry, and they didn't have an answer.
Yeah. I also know that Craig Blomberg has a really good answer.
Well, why don't you go see what it is and come tell me about it?
Yeah.
What about the resurrection? Was the stone already moved, or did it move after Mary and some other Mary got there?
Well, I don't really think that matters.
Why does it not matter? I mean, if one account says they got there and there was no stone, and the other account says they got there and there was a stone, and an angel came and a great earthquake happened and rolled away the stone, those are clearly contradictory.
I don't necessarily know that it's a contradiction.
Really? So let's say you came and you said, when I got there, Uthman was gone. And then you say, when I first got there, Uthman was standing and I spoke to him.
If you're rolling back a stone, what I
Well,
just don't.
it's a contradiction, right?
I
I mean,
don't-
okay.
I
So,
don't
so
see
let
it as
me
a
let me
contradiction.
explain this to you. Okay. Let's say you come and you say, me and my friend John, we came together to see if Uthman was there, and you say when we got there, Uthman was already gone, and John says we got there and me and Trent had a conversation with Uthman. One of those is wrong, right? So in the Bible, when you see the resurrection, let's go through all three of the accounts. This is
There's also a difference
in
in
the
who
end
was
of
there as
Matthew.
well.
Yeah, of course.
Came.
After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. So how many women were there? Two,
Can
right?
can can I
Can,
ask you a
can I
question?
finish this one?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right, thank you. Or, I mean, if you don't mind, if you want to.
No, go
Okay,
ahead.
good, cool. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat on it. His countenance was like lightning, and his clothing was white as snow. And the guards shook of fear of him, and he became like dead man. But the angel answered to them and said to the women. So here, Mary and another Mary went, and what? Now they're going to go check up on Jesus to see what happened to him. And there is a stone there, and an angel comes down in front of them. And they're reporting this, and a great earthquake happens, and the guards become pale by looking at the angel, and the angel then, in front of the Marys, rolls over the stone and even speaks to them, right? But when you look at the resurrection account here in Luke, on the first day of the week, early in the morning, they and certain other women, different number of women as well, came to the tomb bringing spices which they had prepared, but they found the stone rolled away from the tomb. So when they came to the tomb, they found it was already gone. No angel, no earthquake, no conversation. That is a clear contradiction, and you know that.
I don't think that that's a contradiction.
Okay.
Matthew can add more details to it.
Oh, so one says it's already gone, and one says an angel came when they were there and took it away in front of them.
Right.
Who's adding details?
So if you have three people that witness the same event, they're going to give different details.
I agree with you, and some are going to be wrong then.
No.
Because it cannot be that they got there and an angel came and rolled away the stone, spoke to them.
Why can it?
Can I finish?
Well, I just let you read it.
Let me just finish.
Okay.
Look, when you speak, I'll listen.
Okay.
Right? Why can it not be both? I was going to answer that if you let me finish, right? All right. So if the account is that they got there and there was a stone, and an angel came and rolled away the stone in front of them and spoke to them, that could be. Or it could be that they got there and found that was already gone. It cannot be both because those are contradictory. Either they saw the angel come and move the stone, or the stone was already gone. They cannot both be. And you know that.
Why?
When did the angel come? When Mary was there or not?
No. I'm asking a question. When it comes to the two accounts, Matthew and Luke, why can it not be both in those particular situations told from the vantage point of a different individual? So one individual comes to the they decide.
We're talking about Mary's account, right?
The problem is it's Mary's account, so she was
both of them.
Okay, whatever. So it could be Mary's account, it could be another individual's account that was there. There were multiple women that were at the tomb, right?
Well, in one of the verses was only Mary. One of them it was two. Yeah,
So
here.
just because
I'll show it to you.
If I go to
On the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb. There's not multiple women here, right?
Okay.
But let's not get sidetracked. I want to listen to your point.
Okay.
So you're saying that they went there. Go
if
ahead.
the gospel account says that one person went,
Okay.
why does it negate the fact that there could be other people with them if they're just mentioning one individual?
That doesn't.
It
But
doesn't.
what the problem is that when Mary got to the tomb, was the stone there or not?
When the stone
When
was
Mary
there,
got to the tomb, was the stone there or not?
it was there.
But the other account says that it wasn't. In fact, two of the accounts say when they got to the tomb,
Can I
they
ask you a
found that the stone had been taken away. So it was not there.
So
No.
the
We're not.
stone can be taken away and it still exists on the structure of the tomb.
No, because an angel came and sat on the stone and then rolled it away in front of the Marys. Not that it was sitting somewhere on the side and he can't. No, the stone
can
was
be
blocking
both
the
and.
tomb. It cannot be. Because in one account, Mary goes and an angel comes and the stone is blocking the tomb. He sits on the stone and he speaks to them and then he rolls away the stone.
No. Go back to Matthew 28. Go back to Matthew 28.
Let's go back. You know you're just trying to make stuff up now, bro. But it's all right. We'll go to it. No problem. There you go. Now, after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from the heaven and came and rolled back the stone. They got there, they witnessed the earthquake, and then he rolled back the stone while they're witnesses to this. And in the other accounts, it says they got there and they found the stone had already been taken away.
Right.
It